As we get closer and closer to the spring calving season, we'll be talking here on the Cow-Calf Corner about different aspects of working with cows and heifers at calving time to try to ensure the best outcome for both the cow and the calf. Today, I'd really like to emphasize the impact that a difficult birth can have, not just on the calf, but on the mother cow. There's been several research trials done through the years that have looked at the impact of a prolonged delivery or difficult birth on how long it takes that cow to recycle to have a chance to rebreed for the next year's calf crop. And the impact is really quite substantial. The work done at the USDA station in Miles City, Montana back in 1984 took a good look at what happens with 2-year-olds if they get assistance in a short period of time after the start of the delivery of the calf, or if they have the calf unassisted in a very timely manner, compared to those that were allowed to stay in labor for 2 hours or longer and then finally provided assistance. And so if you look at this particular graphic that's on the screen, what you're seeing is a comparison between heifers that got either early assistance, had the calf easily, or those that they allowed to wait for 2 hours or longer. That's the early versus the late. They're looking at the percent of those heifers that were cycling at the start of the next breeding season. And if you'll notice that those that were early, that 17% more of them were cycling than their counterparts that were allowed to go through a prolonged delivery process. Perhaps even more important, the pregnancy percentage after the breeding season was over was 20% lower in those that had that prolonged, very, very hard delivery process. Also, I think we want to remember that some of those cows that had that difficult birth that did eventually rebreed as they followed them on through, this particular data set indicated their calves were, of course, lighter. They weighed 46 pounds less at weaning time. So there again is another of those hidden costs that showed up just because that heifer had a difficult birth at calving time. What to do about it? Well, I think we want to properly develop replacement heifers to make sure that they're in about that body condition score 6 that we've talked about in the past, that they've been bred to calving ease bulls, to reduce the incidence of calving difficulty whenever possible, and that way minimize that situation where this heifer has that prolonged delivery that could cost her days in terms of when she's going to recycle to rebreed, or could have an impact on rebreeding percentage or even the weaning weight of that eventual calf. Keep that in mind as you go through this calving season, and we look forward to visiting with you again next week on Sunup's Cow-Calf Corner.